Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, for commenting, for subscribing to my channel. My name is Boom Shaka, and as you can tell, I mostly speak about INFJ stuff at the moment at least, because I find it fascinating. And also, as I've said before, I really want to be a source, a resource for INFJs. So many of us who feel so alone on this planet, so misunderstood, lonely, have no one around us that really understands us, right? In this video, I want to speak to you guys about how INFJs are very private individuals. We're very private. You might think that we are a very public person, especially me. You think that I'm a public individual because I'm sharing so much of myself on video. I mean, come on, this is like the most public way to do it. But if you even have an INFJ who's in the public view, and there are INFJs who are actresses and actors and famous people, they're still very private individuals, and you will see that about themselves. Now, how do you make a difference between an INFJ between a person who's private versus public? Well, even if we share as INFJ a lot of ourselves, there's still a billion different things about myself that I haven't shared with you guys, right? I've shared a lot because I want to make sure that I share a lot with you guys. That's like a practice for me to be more open. But still, there's a billion different things about myself that I've never shared with anyone. Not only just you guys, but anyone, really. I barely have shared with myself, right? Barely know it of myself. So we're very private individuals, and also very quiet individuals. So a lot of people who want to date an INFJ, who want to get to know an INFJ, they complain all the time to me or to other INFJs that you guys are so quiet and you're so private. How am I supposed to get to know you? How am I supposed to build a connection with you if you're so private and quiet? Now, as it is, there's a lot of parts of me that I will never ever share with anyone. Ever. I mean, ever. Like, it's not gonna happen. I will die with those things inside of me, right? And I don't want to share it with anyone. I'm happy having those things for myself. It's my stuff. And I'm never gonna share it with anyone. So that's fine. Just understand as a non-INFJ that there are some things about your INFJ you're never going to get to know, ever. They're not going to share it with you. That's totally fine, and you should be fine with it, right? But there are certain things that we will share with you. But again, as I've said before, it will take us some time to get there. A lot of time, sometimes, right? I've dated people where I did not tell them certain things about myself until 2, 3 years into the relationship. I know some friends who are still finding out things about me, and we've known each other for 15 years. So that's the thing with us. We're very private. We don't want people to know a lot of things about us. We want to protect ourselves. It's a defense mechanism. We want to protect ourselves from ridicule. We want to protect ourselves from rejection. Why? Because we've experienced it when we were a child. When we were a child and we were open, much more open than we are right now. When I was a child, I would tell people all these things about myself. I would tell them things that were going on in my head, how I knew things about other people, how I was a psychic or I had really good intuition, how I didn't like this person, why I liked this person, blah, blah, blah. So I'd tell people all these things, right? My parents, my friends. And of course, as it happens for INFJs, we get ridiculed a lot. We get rejected a lot. We get told over and over again, stop being so silly. Stop saying things that are not true. Stop thinking that you know things that you don't actually know. Stop being so weird. Stop being like la 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 la. Like all of these things all the time. So as we grow up, slowly but surely, we understand and learn that if we want to be normal, if we want to be accepted in this real world, if we want to not be ridiculed or rejected, if we want to just coast, if we don't want people kind of fighting with us all the time or causing conflict, then we just need to keep a lot of this shit that's inside of us, right? Don't put it out there. Don't talk to people about it because otherwise they're going to make fun of you or they're going to stop being friends with you. Even now, even though I'm a very private individual, sometimes I'll have these moments where I share something with someone because I feel like, maybe they're worthy of it. Maybe they've proven themselves to me enough, or I'm just running an experiment to see, if I can trust them or not. And sometimes they will come across and I'll share something with them and they're completely fine with it. They're open to it, and I realize, okay, this is a really good friend of mine and I can enhance my friendship with them. But sometimes they will come back and it'll bite me in the ass, and they'll be like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore because you are not the person that I thought you were. You have these opinions, and I was like, oh my god, I have no idea who this person is, right? And so, again, obviously it's a very good litmus test of our friendship, but also it also can be a little harsh on us. It can be very tiring to us because sometimes it's hard knowing what we can share and what we can't share. a lot of times because of that, we end up sharing nothing, right? Because we're like, oh, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about what I can share, what can't share, what people are going to be happy with, and what they're going to hate, what they're going to reject me on. So how about this? We just don't share anything, right? I mean, I'll tell people that I'm from India, that I lived in India when I was a child, that we moved to the Middle East, that I lived in Canada for a bit, and things like that. Superficial stuff that anyone can find out about me if they went on the internet or if they ask anyone else, right? So I will share stuff like that because I know it won't bite me in the ass. It won't matter, right? There are other things about me that people don't know about. Where my caste is in India, like how I come from a very low caste. Things like how my parents are ashamed of that. Things like how I don't know if I'll ever be able to be completely comfortable with telling people where I am really from India, what my life was like in India, what my parents' life was like in India. I mean, of course, I'm telling you guys, but these videos are going to be watched by maybe 4,000 or 5,000, 2,000, maximum 5,000, 6,000 people. It really doesn't matter. Like I want, there's so many things I want to tell people, I want to talk to people about, but I'm not able to because, again, people always tell us to be not open. They tell us to, stop telling all these random things about us. They reject us over and over again. And so, as you guys can tell, it really does irk me. It is something of a point with me where I feel bad that a lot of us as INFJs cannot share a lot of things about ourselves because as soon as we do, people just judge us and criticize us and put us down. And as soon as that happens, we shut ourselves off like a turtle running back into their shell. We kind of poked out our head a bit and we saw that it was a dangerous world out there and then we go back in again, right? Happens all the time to me. So we are very private for that very exact reason, because we have tried and has not worked out, and so we go back into our shell again. We retreat into our caves. Now again, we know, because we're INFJs, we know how much information to reveal without it seeming like we're revealing anything really. I mean, I can reveal a lot of things about myself and people will feel like, oh man, I really feel like I know you. But really, I've revealed things that really does not matter to me, or things that are really not a big deal at all, that I know people will feel are a big deal, and they will feel like, oh, they're really connected to me, but really it doesn't really matter. Does that make sense? So we know how to do it. We know how to manipulate the situation where we feel, or people feel around us, that we've revealed a lot, that we're very public people, that we share a lot, but we're really not. We're very private. And that's one of the things that you really need to learn about your INFJ if you're dating one, or you're planning to date one, or you're partners with one, that there's probably a lot of things that they haven't told you that they'll never tell you. And that's something that you're going to have to be fine with. That's something that you're going to have to be absolutely freaking fine with, because it's really important. It's really important to your INFJ to keep that boundary, to keep all those things inside of themselves, because it keeps them safe. It keeps them from harm. It keeps them from ridicule. It keeps them from rejection. It keeps them from that portion of themselves that is feeling shame for being who they are, has been made to feel shameful for being who they are. I've dealt with a lot of that stuff in the past, so I know now what I can share without ever feeling those pangs of rejection and ridicule and sadness, because I can't share all of myself with you guys. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I hope I was able to explain myself to you guys. I hope that you guys have an amazing day wherever you are. I hope that you guys are able to be the best version of yourself and live your highest potential as much as possible. And if you guys have any video suggestions for the future, let me know. Message me in the comments below. Or you can email me if you don't want to talk in a public forum at boomshika@themillionairehippie.com. The email address is again in the description. Alright? I'll see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.